Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have here for you. Coinbase is invited to set up shop outside the U.S. We'll tell you where. CEO from PayPal, the managing director from Ripple and the Americas. We're going to talk about it. You're going to hear from them. Polysign's Jack McDonald. And how about the Hinman emails? 24 hours away, ladies and gentlemen. And could the Dollar Dixie and the Hinman emails become a catalyst for XRP? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.09 trillion market cap for crypto. It's off by 0.2%. Good afternoon. Bitcoin, 25,700 plus, 1738 in change for Ethereum. Tether market cap is 83.3 billion plus. We're watching it closely here. XRP, 51 cents right now, pulling back just a little. We'll keep an eye on it. We have something for you to see today about the Dollar Dixie and the Hinman emails on an XRP chart. You're going to love it. Let's check this out very quickly right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. Now, along with this, we know the markets are changing and there's collapsing going on everywhere, bank runs. This is the learning curve you've been looking for. We know you can't keep up with everything. Full access to private Telegram group, private weekly live streams, private groups and lessons, wealth creation mindset courses that are absolutely crucial if you're looking to get from point A to point B. Look, think about the person that you are right now and what you want from your investments. What kind of growth you want to have, the kind of person you want to become. Not only to become wealthy, but be able to maintain and protect and grow that wealth. That's what we're focusing on inside of this group. And right now, there is a special offer, a free trial that you could take and sign up and try this out for yourself. You're going to find out that this is exactly where you need to be surrounded by the like-minded people with the same kind of goals that you have, and we're all headed there in a very, very short order. I tell you that. Make the investment in yourself and click that link, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start right here. Listen to this. I tell you, this is a clip from Jason Cousins from Glint, and if you haven't checked out Glint, be your own bank, alternative to banking. It's owning gold with Glint and the MasterCard debit card. It is an amazing product. Click the link for that underneath the video. Listen to this clip and listen to what the big boys are doing.
Do you want to keep renminbi? Would you want to keep euros or US dollars? Where would you want to keep your money? And the question is, if they sell that, would they want to keep it in renminbi? I don't think they would want to keep the yuan.
Honestly, to answer your question, I want to put it in gold. That's where I would put it. I would. I'd put it in gold.
Do you want
gold? That's where it's going. And if you want gold, you can get it with Glint. I'm telling you, it's an amazing, amazing product. Coinbase has been invited to set up shop in Hong Kong, ladies and gentlemen, after the SEC lawsuit has been dropped on them. This is what we're at risk of watching happen. The companies that are building out this space to be pushed offshore. Just despicable. Now, this is a clip. I had trouble with it earlier, and I couldn't hear it, but I think you could, but I didn't play it. This is the CEO of PayPal, Dan Schulman, the outgoing CEO, and he's going to tell you, this is pretty profound, and I'm glad that I've got it figured out here now. I want to play this for you. Listen to what he says. He's talking about distributed ledger technology will be a part of the financial system, stable coins and CBDCs, but it will not be done with speculative cryptos like Bitcoin, Doge, and ETH. You got to hear him say it.
I think most people really misunderstand crypto or don't understand it well because it's very nuanced. And there are really four separate things that people conflate together that are completely separate. You know, first there's like cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether and, you know, all the silly ones that are out there as well, but not the ones that like Dogecoin and others. Those are really not currencies. They are speculative assets that people can buy, hold, and sell, but they aren't used for currency. They're too volatile. They're not stable enough to be really a currency. And very few merchants, if any, accept them. And we ought to regulate that as kind of more risky types of trading. I think.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You can't say it any clearer than that. That's the outgoing CEO of PayPal. I think he knows a little something about payments. And so does this guy. This is Aaron Sears, Managing Director of the Americas for Ripple. Yeah. And listen to what he's talking about here.
The primary pain points are around speed, reliability, transparency, and cost. So on the speed front, using traditional sort of archaic technology like Swift can take between, in some cases, 3 and 5 days for funds to settle. So that's a significant pain point. Reliability, you've got, oftentimes you've got errors and outages and so forth that can delay payments. Transparency, again, because of some of the limitations of the technology, you don't always know what the status of your payment might be using the legacy systems.
And there you have it. And look, we're talking about payments. Outgoing CEO Dan Schulman from PayPal talking about payments, talking about it not being Bitcoin and Ethereum and Doge, right? XRP is designed for this, payments and settlement. That's what's exciting to me. And we're getting so close. And when I think payments and settlement, I tend to think a little more broadly the way CEO of Polysign Jack McDonald talks about here, about capitalizing on the capital markets here with asset tokenization. Think about the payment and settlement and clearing of all the traditional products that exist today. This is what we're after. It's not just as simple as just payments. Everything has a payment. Everything needs settlement. And that's where this is headed ultimately. And you can see by the posturing and the shifting, whether it's the CEO, outgoing CEO of PayPal, or whether it's Congress, or whether it's a regulator. They're all acknowledging that they can see that things like Bitcoin and Ethereum are not payment related. Head on a swivel. Know what you hold. We're less than 24 hours from getting those Hinman documents going public, ladies and gentlemen. And I do believe it will be like a rocket or a bomb going off, no doubt about it. And I want you to hear, because the truth winds its way to coming out one way or another. Can't wait to see those Hinman emails. Damn right. Shout out to DAI for this one. And listen to this gentleman here, Luke Belmar, explain the SEC lawsuit very quickly against the XRP and Ripple company. And I tell you, in the XRP digital asset, I want you to hear what he says, because he understands exactly who's behind Ethereum.
This is my theory on why XRP received the lawsuit from the SEC. I think a lot of the heads of the SEC, prior and current, were seed investors in Ethereum, that they participated in the ICO of Ethereum. Therefore, they have a vested interest in seeing Ethereum succeed as the main blockchain. And the thing that you had kind of seen right now is what is one of the biggest holders of Ethereum across the entire world, a company called Consensus. Consensus owns MetaMask. Okay, so they're super centralized. And now we're in a scenario where we're no longer proof of work, but we're proof of stake, which means what? Whoever owns the most Ethereum and stakes the most Ethereum owns the most nodes, therefore has the most voting power. And who owns that? Consensus, the guys that created, co-created Ethereum. So it's a very centralized network. And who owns and co-invested in Consensus? JP Morgan or Chase Bank or a bunch.
And there you go, right there. Look, you can't say it any quicker and clearer than what that gentleman just did. That's what we've been talking about for over 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. JP Morgan's behind everything behind Ethereum right there. That's what you need to know. And it's not decentralized, it's centralized. Here's the chart we're looking at here. If we close here, 2 hours to go still, says Crypto Insight UK. XRP will have closed 2 consecutive weeks above 50, the 100, and 200 EMAs for the first time since February 2021. We know what happened next. And I tell you what, we're about to find out in great detail because I got a chance to sit down with Will from Crypto Insight UK, and I want you to hear exactly what he's talking about here. This is a remarkable layout of where we are. And could the Hinman emails push XRP into bullish territory? We're 24 hours away from finding out. And wait till you see the way these charts look. And he also talks about the dollar Dixie, the dollar index, which plays a huge correlation, inverse correlation to the crypto markets as well. Both could be a factor. Take a listen. All right, I'm sitting here with the one and only Will from Crypto Insight UK. Will, thank you for being here with us today.
How are we doing, Brad? Lovely to speak to you. As always, I've always wanted to talk to you and come on your show, so it's an honor to be here.
Well, you and I have been trying to connect for a couple of years at least, and I'm so glad we've done it today. You've got some great information for us, but I want people to understand that you've been featured in Raoul Pal's macro investing group. Is that correct?
Yeah, I featured on his Global Macro Investor back in June of 2021. Went in depth on XRP, talked about its use cases, how it actually works as a protocol, and I also talked about like price action, but more towards the private side rather than the public side of Real Vision, which is what most people get to see.
That is amazing. And you had a thread recently talking about XRP and what you see on the charts. Can you share that screen with us and talk about that with us?
I can indeed. What we're going to do here is just quickly run through the key points of what the XRP price action is telling us right now from a technical standpoint. And to start with, the first thing that I want to talk about is this gray line that you can see on the middle of your screen. That's acted as a key resistance and support level for XRP over the past like 4 or 5 years since the 2017 breakout. As you can see, it clearly, when it touches this line, it's volatile which way it moves after the touch of the line. So if it's stuck underneath it, it's classed as resistance. And if it's on top of it, it's classed as support. So when we hit it from below, we bounce down, and some of these bounces down can be at 85%. And when we broke through back in 2021, we actually moved up about 260%. So this is a line that I've really got my eye on, because as you can see, when it's resistance, we're stuck under there for 1, 2, 3, 4 tests, and we break through on the 4th. And now we're on our 4th test to potentially break through. And then when we're above it as support, we bounce off it 1, 2, 3, and the 4th time break through. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. And going on to what we're talking about there, I actually highlight this here and say that something specifically that I want to look for this to happen is volume. And how do we get volume? Well, volume comes from like real life events. Volume is essentially the amount of people buying and selling on that day. So if we got volume, it could come from something like the Hinman documents. Who knows? If something's damning in there, we're actually at a point of resistance here. We're looking to break through. Perfect timing to see something like that coming out, potentially pushing us above there. Obviously, it could happen the other way. As we can see, it's volatile when it hits this resistance level. So if the emails are bad, this would be a perfect time for the narrative to come and bounce us down away from the resistance as much as it would to help us break through. Short term, we have an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which gives us a technical breakout of 72 cents, which is another technical pattern that can take us above that resistance level and kick off that move, maybe of greater heights. And on the weekly time frame, we've recaptured all the EMAs, so 50, 100, and 200 EMAs, which are exponential moving averages. This is the first time we've captured it since we had the explosive move in 2021, which took us up to around $2. And one thing I'm really, really bullish about here is the MACD. If we get a green candle close this month, which obviously is still like 18 days left, it will be the 3rd time in history that the MACD on XRP has crossed bullish. The first time it happened, we had a 73,000% move. The second time it happened, we had a 700% move. So anyone's guess as to what can happen now, but we're starting from a higher price point here as well, which is something to take into consideration. So you're putting those percentages on top of 50 cents rather than like 18 where we were, or 22 where we were in the 2020, 2021 area when that happened. And then the final point to do with this is XRP versus Ethereum. People talk about market cap a lot in crypto. I personally believe that it's not that accurate. Market cap just being price times circulating supply. It's not that accurate because there's not enough liquidity in markets to sell everything at the same price or buy everything at the same price. You start buying, the price goes up. You start selling, the price comes down. But in the 2017 bull cycle, 2017, 2018, XRP actually engulfed Ethereum's market cap twice, meaning that it became the second crypto on the list of cryptocurrencies out there. So if we did that again, we could be looking at like a 1,000% gain for XRP if we're looking at the top sort of prices here. So my final price target for XRP specifically, if we use something called a Fibonacci retracement, which actually lines up with the Ethereum market cap, etc., if you go back to when we were bullish in the cycles, is around $12 to $15 for XRP in this immediate cycle. Obviously, we could blow past that if we do something similar to what we did in the past, where in the 2013, 2014 bull run, we will be blowing up to anywhere up to like $30 odd. But I like to keep my price targets realistic. This sort of money would change my life, and I will cash out a lot on the way up there, and I will be transparent about that. And that's my main target for this cycle, because ETH and Bitcoin also headed out to the 3.618 and the 4.236 extensions in this cycle as well. And finally, one little point I would like to talk about is crypto often moves when the DXY is coming down. And the DXY itself, I feel, and I've gone into detail in this on my newsletter, which is free this week. It's free every week, but I've gone into detail on it this week. I think that the DXY is looking to break down further with a possible ABC correction here, especially if you zoom out heavily. You can see that the DXY has created not one, but two lower highs and actually a lower low. So this is actually a downtrend on the DXY. A lot of people are bullish on it as the world reserve currency. And the fact that dollars are being squeezed around the world, people think the dollar might go up. I'm of the opposite opinion and feel like it's going to come down, especially from a technical standpoint.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out more, you can follow Crypto Insight UK on all the different social media platforms, and he's got them. All you got to do is go to this handle right here, and I want to thank him for making time to sit down with us today. I do think this is a crucial moment. We're 24 hours away from the Hinman emails, and as he suggested in there, we could see that play into a bullish scenario, and if they're bad for us, they could play into a negative scenario. So whether it turns into support or resistance on the chart remains to be seen. But, you know, if we were to see the repeat of the 17-18 bull run, 73,000% would put us at $379 plus at the current price of XRP, and then adding the 73,000% as we saw in 2017, 2018. If we have the 700% like we saw in 21, it would take us to $3.64 near the all-time high for XRP. If we saw 1,000% gain, we would see a $5 plus XRP. And then again, as he suggested, what he sees in the chart, and it doesn't mean that it couldn't blow past it, but he's looking himself for that $12 to $15 range for what the charts are showing him on the short term. This is where I'll say, you know, for myself, this is why I have a shallow bag and something that which means I could take short profits on the front end and not ruin my long-term position that I have for XRP, which ultimately the holy grail for me has and always will be is that I should never have to sell my XRP. But it doesn't mean I won't want to take some profits if the ability to lock it up and earn any kind of return or staking or total lock or locked up value on it and earn a yield on that is not really available for me, or in a way that I feel comfortable. I would be looking to take some profits for myself at a lower level, like what was discussed here by Will from Crypto Insight UK. Look, that's going to do it for me. Shout out to Will. Shout out to all of you. Tomorrow is going to be an exciting day, and watch out for the next couple days as the interpretation of all these emails comes out, not only on the charts, but for us to understand for legal clarity as well. So I'll catch all of you on the next one. Not financial advice from me, him, or anyone else. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you on the next one.